Have you ever stared at the stars? I don't mean a quick glance. I mean really looked. On a clear, dark night, when the sky isn't just black, but a deep, infinite velvet pierced by thousands of points of fire. In that moment, you feel two things: how breathtakingly vast the universe is, and how small you are. What could your one life possibly matter in a cosmos that grand? 2,000 years before telescopes, there was a man doing just that. His name was Abram, a 75-year-old man from a forgotten city, living in a tent, carrying the weight of a profound sorrow. He had no heir, no son, no legacy. In his world, that meant his story would vanish with him. And into that moment of quiet despair and cosmic smallness, God spoke. And what he said launched the most consequential mission of a lifetime. It wasn't just for Abram. It was a template, a covenant, for anyone who feels the tug of a purpose bigger than themselves. Today, we're not just going to talk about ancient history. We're going to walk through the three-act drama of God's covenant with Abraham and discover how this blueprint applies to your mission, your legacy, right here, right now. The covenant begins with a command and a breathtaking promise. God says to Abram, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing." Let's break down how radical this is. First, the command. Go to the land I will show you. Not a land he shows him, a land he will show him. This is the ultimate step of faith. Abram has to pack up his entire life, his security, his identity, his future based on a voice and a vision no one else can verify. This is the first principle for any mission of a lifetime. You must be willing to leave your familiar, your is your comfort zone. It's the predictable path, the safe career, the limiting identity people have for you. It's the "we've always done it this way." God's big missions always start with a holy disruption, a leaving. But God never asks us to leave into a vacuum. He fills the space with a promise. Notice the pronouns: I will, I will, I will. The mission's success doesn't rest on Abram's brilliance, but on God's faithfulness. The promise had 3 layers: land, a place of belonging and purpose; descendants, a legacy and a future; and blessing to all nations, so his life would have global, eternal impact. Here's the question for you. What is the promise that stirs in your heart? Not just a goal, but a deep-seated sense of calling. Maybe it's to build something, to heal something, to create something, to raise a family of faith, to innovate, to inspire. That tug is sacred. That's your part of the covenant. But it starts with having the courage to take the first step into the unknown, trusting the one who made the promise. This brings us to the next phase, which is where most of us live, and where Abram lived for 25 long years. The painful, messy, essential gap between the promise and the fulfillment. God shows him the stars and says, "Look up. So shall your offspring be." And Scripture says, Abram believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. Faith, yes. But then, nothing happens. Days turn to months, months, 2 years. Sarai remains barren. The tents get older. So does Abram. Doubt creeps in. He tries to force the promise through his servant Eliezer. Then, he takes a disastrous shortcut with Hagar. He creates an Ishmael semblance of the promise, but not the true promise. It brings conflict, heartache, and a 13-year silence from God. Why? Because the mission of a lifetime isn't just about what you're building. It's about who you're becoming in the process. God wasn't just creating a nation. He was forging a man of unshakable faith. The waiting period was the refinery. Abram had to be stripped of the belief that he could engineer God's promise himself. Then, at 99 years old, when all human possibility is dead, God reappears. He changes his name. Abram, meaning exalted father, becomes Abraham, father of multitudes. Imagine, every time someone says his new name, it's like a joke. Hey, daddy of nations, how's the baby? It's a daily reminder to walk not in the reality of his circumstances, but in the reality of God's promise. This is the second principle. The process prepares you for the promise. The gap is not God's forgetfulness. It is his workshop. It's where he changes your name, your identity, from insecure to confident in me, from impatient to steadfast, from controller to trusting child. Where are you in the gap right now? Are you trying to create your own Ishmael, forcing a solution out of frustration? Or are you allowing the weight to shape you, to strengthen your trust muscles, to prepare you to handle the fulfillment when it comes? The mission is forged in the waiting. Finally, the promise is fulfilled. Isaac, the child of laughter, is born. Joy, the mission is accomplished. But then comes the greatest test of all. Take your son, your only son, whom you love, and sacrifice him. This is unthinkable. It seems to contradict everything God promised. The legacy is Isaac. But Abraham has been through the refinery. His faith is no longer in the promise, but in the promiser. He tells his servants, "We will go and worship, and we will come back to you." He believes even in resurrection. He climbs that mountain, binds his son, and raises the knife, and God stops him. Now I know that you fear God. God provides a ram. The covenant is sealed, not by Abraham's sacrifice, but by God's provision. This is the ultimate revelation. The mission of a lifetime culminates when you surrender the very thing the mission was about back to God. You hold the promise with an open hand. You realize it was never yours to hoard. It was always His to steward through you. Because of that surrender, God reiterates the promise. Through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed. This isn't just about Isaac. This points to Jesus Christ, the ultimate offspring of Abraham, through whom the entire world finds salvation. Abraham's temporary altar on Moriah foreshadows God's permanent altar at Calvary. Your mission, your Isaac, your business, your art, your ministry, your family is safest when it is fully surrendered. And from that place of surrender, its impact becomes eternal. It stops being about your name and starts being about blessing all nations. So, look at the stars again. From a childless old man in Ur to the father of faith for billions. One man, one covenant, one lifetime of stepping, waiting, and surrendering. That changed the axis of human history. Your life is not small. Your mission matters. Today, hear the call to leave your familiar. You embrace the sacred, shaping process of the gap, and surrender your Isaac to the God who provides. You are standing in the stream of that same covenant. You are called, you are equipped. Your journey of faith, right now, is part of a story that stretches from the stars of Mesopotamia to the city of God. Your mission of a lifetime awaits. Will you, like Abraham, believe? Go and be a blessing. Thanks for watching. If this message resonated with you, please like and subscribe for more content that fuels your faith journey.